It's Meal Prep Monday, and today I'm cooking up some hearty vegetable soup with ground beef. Get ready for this one. All the instructions and ingredients are listed in the description box. Y'all, welcome in. Go ahead and hit that like button and let's get started. Yes, Kendi K cooks, and today we're making that good vegetable soup made with ground beef or ground turkey. We're using ground hamburger meat and just browned it off. And then I like to drain the fat from my ground beef and then season it. So I'm starting with some Lawry's seasoning salt. And then I still have some of these cheap beef bouillon cubes. They're very high in sodium, so keep that in mind. That's why I was light on the Lawry's. I'm adding 3 of these beef bouillon cubes, and I will tell you that I ended up adding 3 more later to really kick up that beef content. Y'all, I don't often buy those, but if budget is an issue for you, that's a way to save money because they are very cheap, but they're also very high in sodium. I'm a better than bouillon girl, and I'm just getting rid of these, but I'm not throwing anything away because in this economy, we don't want to throw anything away. Also adding some onion powder, and add as much as you want. If you want your food to taste more full, and add some garlic powder as well. Then add more spices, but be careful of your salt intake. Garlic powder and onion powder, add as much of that as you want, and it will really kick up flavor in your food without kicking up the sodium content. And so next, for this homemade vegetable soup, we're going to add some frozen green bell peppers and also some frozen onion. I'm using frozen products because they're pre-diced and pre-cut for me and allows me to get a homemade meal to the table for me and Sheba. So it's perfectly okay to use these frozen chopped onions, and they're much cheaper than buying the pre-cut produce in the produce section of your store. Get them frozen. But I also have a chopper, and I can cut them myself if needed. And I do, because it saves lots of money that way. So I used about a half a bag of frozen onions and frozen bell peppers. I'm just mixing this together and adding some water because I need to dissolve those bouillon cubes and just let things go ahead and cook. And you're going to need lots of water to make this good homemade vegetable soup. So I went ahead and added more water. And this is a secret ingredient, a bay leaf. Add a bay leaf or 2. And I'm using whole bay leaves. And you want to make sure you take note of how many you put into the pot because you need to fish that many out of the pot before you serve your dish. Bay leaves are not digestible and they are very bitter if you bite into them. So make sure you fish it back out before you serve your meal. I added 1 bay leaf to this. And then I'm going to add water to fill my pot about halfway full. And I'm just cooking this mixture until my diced onions and diced bell peppers are soft. I don't want any crunch to them. Then I'm adding 2 cans of diced tomatoes. And y'all, I used what I had in the pantry. One of these were Italian style. It's okay. Y'all, this is just a good homemade vegetable soup made in my kitchen with ground beef. And I promise it will all taste wonderful. It will all taste wonderful. Once your onions and bell peppers are soft, and you got a good hot pot, then I'm going to go in with 2 packages. I am using 2 packages of this Kroger brand vegetable soup mix. It is my go-to. I am making 2 packages, adding 2 packages of this frozen vegetable mix. It has lima beans, okra, potatoes, corn, green beans. It's got all of the things in there, peas, carrots. So I'm using 2 bags of this and making this a meal prep pot of soup. Yes, so that's why I'm adding so many vegetables and making just a large family style pot of soup, because on a meal prep Monday or for meal prep on any day, make a lot and then put those things in the freezer. That's how I meal prep. Okay, so as we continue to work on this vegetable soup, I'm also going to add a bit of sugar, and that will take down the acidity in those 2 cans of diced tomatoes that I added. And I looked in my fridge and I wanted to bulk up this soup even more. So I'm also going to be adding cabbage to this soup, some shredded cabbage, coleslaw cabbage actually. And so that was prepackaged as well. And again, this is a vegetable soup. Cabbage is a vegetable and a great source of fiber as well. I think my dietitian would be proud of this vegetable soup that I am also adding ground beef to as a base to bulk up the protein in this hearty vegetable soup. I tend to eat soup all year round. I love soup. It's so filling and satisfying to me as I continue on my health journey, just making better eating choices and trying to take some excess weight off in the process. It's a struggle, isn't it? Drop down in those comments. Let me know what your favorite type of soup is. This is Kendi K all day. And yes, Kendi K can cook. Thanks for checking me out. Go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing to your girl. Drop down in those comments and let me know what you're thinking of my homemade vegetable soup. So I let those frozen vegetables get started and go ahead and cook down a little bit. Let them start that thawing process and cooking process. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that coleslaw cabbage. I just had it in the refrigerator, needed to go ahead and get rid of it. And so what a way to bulk up my homemade vegetable soup. Yeah, this is definitely a meal prep meal. Many meals will come from this for me. I meal prep so that I have 1 or 2 servings in my containers that will go in the fridge for use later in the week, and also in the freezer for eating in later in the week, later in the month, and months to come. I love a good meal prep meal, and things like this, like homemade soups, freeze beautifully. You can freeze them in individual containers or even in freezer Ziploc bags, freezer plastic bags meant for the freezer. Also will work just fine if you're a little tight on space. Y'all, I cooked this on high and went till it started to boil, and then I allowed it to simmer for another 20 minutes or so. And it's done. Take a look. This is Kendi K all day. I'm a new content creator in these YouTube streets, so thank you for watching and rocking with me. Please give me a thumbs up, drop something into the comments, and leave a comment too. Appreciate you. Goodbye for now.